The Galaxy S25 Edge is one of my favorite phones I have used this year. The design is out of this world. Now that I have used this for the last few weeks, this phone has made me change the way I think about cell phones. It kind of sucks whenever you get used to a phone like this because every single time you pick up like an iPhone 16 Pro Max or a Galaxy S25 Ultra, or heck, even like a small Pixel 9 Pro, all of those phones feel like they were designed poorly because this phone is so futuristic feeling. But I will say that I am absolutely in love with this design. Now, of course, that comes with trade-offs. You have a smaller battery, you have cameras that don't include a telephoto lens, and the ultra-wide lens was also decreased on this phone. But whenever you use this phone on a daily basis, the majority of those features can be forgiven just because of this design. Whenever you put this guy in your pocket, it fully disappears. You don't even know it's there half the time, which has its positives and negatives. But I'm the kind of person who typically carries a large iPhone, and then I will typically carry an Android phone with me in my pockets. And it sometimes gets a little difficult whenever you carry a large Ultra phone and a large iPhone. So this really is a breath of fresh air inside of my pockets. And of course you have that beautiful, immaculate display. Samsung still makes some of the best displays on the market, and this phone is no exception. It's funny because whenever you hold this phone and you look at the display literally feels like you're holding like a thin piece of glass with this just gorgeous, juicy looking screen right inside of your hands. I love this about it. And it really is just something you have to feel for yourself. Now, this phone also doesn't have the anti-reflective display like the Galaxy S25 Ultra does, but you can go ahead and pick up the Samsung anti-reflective screen protector film. And that's what I did on mine. And the anti-reflective film Samsung has, for one, it's extremely easy to install. And for two, it looks just as good and works just as good as the built-in anti-reflective abilities on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And it's actually so good that that is what I use on my Galaxy S25 Ultra as well. Now let's talk about the biggest trade-off in my experience, the battery. So the battery is obviously a lot smaller on this phone, but I will say that I am getting very similar battery on this phone as I am on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I have no idea how Samsung did this, but I am not really having any battery issues on this phone. I'm able to unplug it at 7 o'clock in the morning. By 11 o'clock at night, I still have a little bit of battery left, and that to me is very surprising. I've also noticed that the speakers and the haptics are a little worse than they are on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. This phone's speakers sound more in line with every other phone on the market as opposed to the Ultra. Now the Ultra, I have broadcasted this multiple times, but the Ultra's speakers are absolutely insane, and they're actually the best I've ever used on any phone, period. And this phone just brings it back down to normality. It's good, but it's not as good as the Ultras. And the haptics to me don't feel as tactile either. Now, it could be because of this thin design. It's not as punchy and tactile, but it does still feel very good. And of course, since this is a Samsung phone, it ships with One UI 7, which I am a major fan of, especially Good Lock. I have made a few videos on Good Lock and the benefits of Good Lock and how I customize my particular phones. And Samsung, I'm telling you guys, keep doing what you are doing with the software. You get those 7 years of guaranteed updates. Although they may be delayed sometimes, you do still get those software updates for 7 years. And then you get that amazing One UI software that is built on top of Android that honestly makes Android a better operating system because of this custom skin. And I really can't say enough of how well One UI 7 runs on this phone and all of the newer Galaxy devices. And I love how this phone still has a SIM card tray. That is something that Apple got rid of. And I just want to praise Samsung for continuing to bring SIM cards even on a phone this thin. And then we look at the cameras. So the standard lens is a 200 megapixel lens, and the standard photos look great. Whenever you shoot in 1x, you have the ability to shoot in either a 12, 50, or 200 megapixel mode. And I typically try to shy with the higher range of megapixels, especially since this phone does not have a telephoto lens. And you're able to shoot with that 200 megapixel camera. And since that particular photo has so much detail, you can just zoom in and not lose any photo quality. So I really do love that feature. And I personally do notice a little bit of a drawback with that lower megapixel ultra wide camera. but it actually still shoots very well. And I am the kind of person who thoroughly enjoys shooting with a telephoto camera. So I do miss having the ability to shoot zoomed photos that are farther away than 10x. But this particular camera does a pretty good job between 0.6x and 1. But I think this phone overall does shoot pretty good photos up to that 10x range. And the video themselves, the log video, the 4K HDR60 recording, the 8K 30 recording, this phone still shoots very, very good video. I will say that I have definitely noticed, however, a difference with the color production of this phone versus the Ultra. I don't know how to explain it, but I do personally prefer the colors that come out of my Ultra phone as opposed to this phone. For whatever reason, the software is a little bit different and I can definitely notice it, but I don't think the majority of people will. So the video capability is just a little bit worse, but I don't think the majority of people will notice that. But yeah, I think the Galaxy S25 Edge is an excellent phone, but you have to know what you're getting into. I will say I am very excited that Samsung has made this phone, because now that this phone is out and this phone is as good as it is and the battery is as good as it is for this particular phone, I am extremely excited to see what Samsung does with the next Galaxy S26 Ultra. At this point, I expect the new Ultra phone to have better battery life and have a thinner design while still bringing me those excellent cameras. That's what I want to see with the next Galaxy S26 Ultra. And honestly, the only detractor on this phone is the starting price. So for the price you're going to pay for this phone, I would just recommend buying a Galaxy S25 Ultra on sale, because you can either get the Ultra on sale for cheaper than you can this phone retail, or you can go ahead and wait for this phone to go on sale and buy this phone on sale. Now, as of this very moment of recording, today is the start of Prime Day, and the Galaxy S25 Edge is under $800. This phone for under $800 is absolutely insane. And I would highly recommend you all pick it up if you can get it for that price. But yeah, what do you all think about this phone? Is this something that you all will pick up? Or are you kind of in the middle like me, to where I'm very excited that Samsung brought these particular features to this phone, the thinness, the pretty good battery life for what it is, and really just showcase like, hey, Samsung, we are back to making devices that are new and different for consumers? Or are you somebody who just loves the phone as is and you plan to purchase it? Especially if you can get it for a heck of a deal like you can at this very moment with Amazon Prime Day. Let me know down below. And if you watched this entire video, leave a comment with an alien emoji, just so I know who watched the entire video, and I will see you all in the next one.